Hello and welcome to Entrepreneur Series with me, Elizabeth Gitau. If you're new to this channel, please go ahead, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment and let us know what you think. And as promised, today we are bringing you a guest. Yes, I had told you that we're going to bring you guest entrepreneurs who are going to share their story and let us know how did they get into entrepreneurship and what they can share with us. So today we are having Esther Neema Onyango. Karibu sana Esther. Let us know who you are.
Okay, my name is Esther Neema. I am a journalist and public relations person by background. Um, but I started my first business at 26, so I can also call myself a businesswoman because right now I could almost record 10 years in entrepreneurship, like commitment to it. Um, I'm running Dream Tribe Network Africa, which is also a network for entrepreneurs, different entrepreneurs, whether beginning or advanced, just to provide a space for entrepreneurs to be able to network, collaborate, form teams, to be able to scale up their initiatives. Yeah.
We would like to know how did you come up with your business idea and what was your driving force into entrepreneurship?
My business pretty early, and just soon enough I would really start to experience some of the challenges that entrepreneurs do face in their life, and that is of course finding markets, networks, teams. You're pretty much a solo entrepreneur, right? And so I remember one day waking up early, like at 4 a.m., just trying to break my head as to where am I going to get more markets, access to more opportunities. And then the idea came to me, right? And I thought if there's a community um, of entrepreneurs or people in business, we would be able to exchange markets. Like, 10 people that I don't know. And if we're part of the Dream Tribe, I have access to your 10 people that I wouldn't ideally have. And if we're 1,000 people and each of these 1,000 people has 10 people, we actually have access to 10,000 potential markets, right? So, yeah, that's how it started. Ideally, to draw from the values of Ubuntu, of coming together, because I realized there are certain tribes, and I don't know if this is true, are successful in business, but because of the coming together, like the Indians, the Chinese, and even here the people from Central, like there's just that unity and stuff like that. But what if we could actually have a new tribe of entrepreneurs? Yeah.
And what I realized is you are so pro entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What makes you advocate for entrepreneurship
I
that
do.
much?
Oh yeah. Because then
Yes.
also I was like, growing up, I've seen a lot of young people extremely frustrated for lack of employment. And I'm constantly thinking, but you are the resource. Like, human resource bosses pay you so much money because you're a resource in yourself, right? So when I see young people, and I think one time I was really moved when my mom was sharing a story of a young man who had gone to PhD level, had never gotten a job, and he actually committed suicide. So looking at just that extreme young people go through for not getting a job, and I just want to remind us as young people that you have so much potential in you if you're able to focus, discover yourself. Long time ago, there were no jobs. Everyone was self-employed. So what is it that young people feel you cannot create an employment for yourself? One, especially if you're a graduate, you've reached that level, you're brilliant, you're top cream in this society. Surely you cannot also be um, frustrated and thinking just because there's no job, I cannot do anything, things like that. And just looking at a lot of potential of many young people who waste away every day, Monday to Friday, doing absolutely nothing because you're waiting for the big break. And it may never come actually. Yeah.
So Esther, does that mean that you never fear anything, or what is your greatest fear, and how do you manage the fears?
I am so afraid. Yeah, I used to be actually, but I think you would also testify. Like, you being an entrepreneur, you totally understand that you start with fear, and then one time you probably are not afraid as much as you are.
Yeah.
Like, for example, picking the call to call a total stranger and tell them what you do used to be the most scary thing I would do, and my voice would be shaking. But right now, like, I just call and I'm like, okay, so if they don't like or take my proposition, well, they just, they don't hate me, they don't just like fancy that proposition. And over time, you find yourself more confident, more able to convince more people, and people now coming to your space, So I feel like I, because I've been in and out of employment, and that's because I, of course, feared that what if these things don't work? What if I'm a total failure? If they don't really pick up? But over time, you pick up and you realize, oh, with persistence, with focus, everything works.
So what you're saying is for you to overcome fear is just get started.
You have to get started. You have to throw yourself in there. You have to make that call when you don't feel like. You just have to do it, because I don't think there's any other way. You can't study this. You can't theorize it enough. You have to just go and do it yourself. Yeah.
Nice. What is your favorite aspect of becoming an entrepreneur, or what makes you feel like this is the best choice that I made?
I think the best is that you can be anything and anyone at any time. I can wake up tomorrow and be a marketer. The next day I can wake up, I'm the salesperson. The next time, of course, I can be anyone in the organization, especially when you're starting. You have the room to literally be anyone. And of course, the freedom it affords you. And then the third most important thing is that I get to decide how far I can go. Like if I was in full time employment and I wanted to do X, Y, Z, I would need to go through so many processes before I can do it. But the fact that I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a founder, whatever I think about, I can actually be able to follow through until it happens. And I think that's what I really love. That I'm able to explore my creativity, even with the different roles that I am. Yeah. So, and the fact that I've literally filled in all the shoes, like when I was doing the events company, I was literally doing the decoration, I was catering. Even when I went to catering, many times I'm the one who ended up cooking some of the food sometimes, and then ending up to also serve on the extreme end. So it's literally taken me through the entire process, like every step of the way. And I feel like it's also actually made me a better human because of that. When I have to sell to someone, I cannot afford to not be nice. I cannot, yeah. Of course, there are occasions where entrepreneurship drives you crazy. Like someone called me the other day. I don't know. I don't know where I got it. I was like, "You're a stalker. Stop calling me." I was just so annoyed. But most times I will actually be a really nice person, because you have to be. And so in the practicing of goodness, you eventually end up before me.
Yeah, that reminds me when I called you, you didn't have my number, but I felt like, okay, you already know me, you are warm on
exactly,
the phone,
yeah.
and that is as a result of what you've been going through, dealing with totally different people.
Exactly.
That reminds me what someone says, that as a CEO, you become chief everything officer.
Yes,
exactly.
You're the cleaner of your office. You're everything,
Sure.
yeah.
Esther, what would you say are the top skills that every entrepreneur should have to become successful? Top 3 for you.
Yeah. I think the ability to focus is everything, right? Just be able to focus on whatever it is that you're doing until you see it come to happen. Um, persistence is persistence and consistence at the same time, right? To pull it through day in, day out, to do the same thing over and over and over and over. And then of course the ability to do sales. Like selling is everything. I mean, if you're not selling, you're not doing anything. And we sell in different ways. It's not always the transactional. Like you recognize I'm making noise all the time on the internet, right? Initially I could easily just be sharing toxic messages and complaining and talking very nasty messages. But because I am in this space, I have to share positive messages, right? So that's also a form of selling. Just being able to put the best foot forward and being able to talk to people, negotiate, form relationships with people. I think that's also very, very instrumental. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. So there people who are wondering, I want to become an entrepreneur. What key activities would you recommend entrepreneurs to invest their time in to become better at what they're doing?
Okay, so I first, of course, there's I mentioned you are the capital. So you have to spend time in self-discovery, knowing what you're about, what do you like, what do you enjoy, what makes you really, really excited to do. I feel like you will love the work that you're doing if it's part of your natural sense of being, right? Like I know you've ever seen someone who is a security soldier and loves that and really, really enjoys that so much. And another person is a manager and really hates their experience in their job. So it's because it's wired in your natural personality. Some people enjoy service, some people really don't, right? So I feel just knowing, investing in knowing yourself, self-discovery journey to be able to narrow down to the specific aspects that will be your key strength. Personally, for me, why I chose entrepreneurship and also now capacity building is, and also helping entrepreneurs is because I really want to see development. I'm very passionate about development. And I believe if people are empowered economically, they can actually develop societies, right? So that self discovery has helped me be able to go into things that I personally love. So self discovery is very important. Becoming part of networks, because when you're self-employed or when you start a business, it's tempting to go solo, which is why a lot of us really suffer. But being part of a network makes you feel more powerful. I've seen you really thrive in networks, and I'm seeing you feel more powerful because you're like, I'm in the midst of 10,000 women, things like that, right? So expanding your circle beyond yourself so that the journey, of course, is less lonely and more exciting. And then, of course, learning is a continuous process. Like I feel like when my TV is either on YouTube, I'm constantly listening to stream motivation from God knows who, like listening over and over to different perspectives to just be able to learn new things. Reading, because reading, you need, like, a person needs to be empowered fully, like from the mind, from the soul, from the spiritual. And I guess because of how eventful the journey of entrepreneurship is, you need to build your muscle of your mind, your soul, and your body, of course. Yeah. So I think exposing yourself to learning, personal development, and capacity building, and of course, being part of a tribe, it's a very important. It keeps you surviving. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning the tribe. Now take us through the tribe network.
Tribe, yeah. So of course, right now we are a network, and we are growing. Like we are over 500 right now, and so being part of the Dream Tribe is finding the space where you can be with other entrepreneurs. We're organizing now Dream Cafe, whereby every month we get to catch up, we talk. The last conversation was how to fail 7 times and still remain cute.
Wow.
You failed 7 times and still remain cute. You need that, yeah. So just to remind ourselves, like if you're failing in entrepreneurship, you're not the only one. It's part of the process, right? And then just sharing our different experiences that we go through. So Dream Cafe is one of the really, really active things that's going on. But through the Dream Tribe, we've been able to come up together with different entrepreneurs within the circle to do different projects. One of them is TEDx Kibera. So we hold these TED Talks in Kibera. And so we inspire people. So we draw everyone, like within the community and even outside, we bring inspiration there. Then we also started the Empire Content Network, which is also a collaborative space for creatives. Creatives, you have amazing talent, but you don't have equipment, or you have equipment, but you don't have talent. So when you come together, you're able to eliminate some of the challenges that you have by coming together to create content. And so through that, we were able to create a television show, Ukweli Wangu. Yeah, so through that, just to make us believe that there's more power in coming together as opposed to you operating as an individual. Yeah, so beyond the market and the networks, also the space to collaborate and have people support you. So when you organize an event, instead of you being alone, you have at least 5, 6 people who will actually show up to your event and be part of your community. So we've been growing gradually. Of course, it's open membership. But if you now want to be the core, then you do. There's a fee for that. Or if you want extended services, then there's also a fee for that. So yeah. People think we are an NGO, but we're not. Yeah.
So what I can see is the tapping into each other's resources. So I can imagine if I have an event and there are 5 people talking about my event, I get visibility more than if I was doing it alone.
Exactly.
So if someone was interested in Dream Tribe, where can they find you? How can they get in
so
touch?
first we have the Facebook page, which is okay. The group is more active. Then the page is growing. So go ahead and like Dream Tribe Network Africa. Then join the Dream Tribe group, which you are a part of.
Actually, I think I'm in both.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you join the group, follow up the conversation, share a lot, like share whatever you think, share opportunities, share questions, ask the community. I feel like we are growing, and especially that now we are moving into the Dream Cafe frequent conversations, and of course eventually to lead into because the cafe is ideally supposed to be physical meetings, but then of course the pandemic has made the whole physical meetings a lot slower. But but the goal is to grow the community. Yeah.
And it's a very beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed the comments, the thoughts, the quotes, and the sharing of opportunities. Actually, I have gotten to know about Academy for Women Entrepreneurs through you, and it has been a very good program that I really enjoyed, and that was very resourceful for every entrepreneur. So thank you so much, and keep up the good work. So Esther, if today you want to do a book, to write a book about yourself, what would you call that?
I would be like, what should I say? Finding awesome, which is also like a series that I've just started. I guess
so. It's something that is already ongoing.
Well, I've started on social media.
Oh, nice.
And that's like the beginning of that's the beginning of everything. As I possibly advance into collecting some of those stories and possibly compiling them later. But finding awesome, I feel like being in business or being an entrepreneur allows you to find your awesome. So I think that would be
nice. Come for that book.
Send me an email and told me my idea was innovative. We've been selected for the
Governor
Startup Challenge. Dream Tribe.
Oh, Dream Tribe.
Nice. Governor Startup Challenge. So I was so excited.
Oh, you were in the Governor Startup Challenge.
Yes, I was in the Governor Startup Challenge.
As a startup completely, because that time you had not really.
So I had tried it with the Empire Content Network that I told you, but it was just a prototype to try it out to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Which worked, and it was actually successful. But so but Dream Tribe has the idea for all entrepreneurs. It was totally in the ideation. Yeah.
So you just wrote that email. How was it writing the resignation letter?
You write it with confidence, but the day that I was leaving, I wanted to pee on myself. Like I was just there thinking, what have I done? You feel like your knees are really, really shaking. But just imagine within a month, but after Yali, after I went to Yali and I saw so many young people do this, I guess I got all the confidence. I'm like, gosh, this is a fellow 30-something-year-old, just like me, doing this, and they've managed. And I think it's just bringing common people to one space and realizing that greatness is, everyone is great.
Yeah,
it's the choice to amplify the greatness within you. And most people sadly will never allow themselves to see themselves holy.
Someone is probably thinking, is this the right time to hand in that resignation? What would you tell them? What would you tell them?
Do I want to tell people to quit their jobs?
No, that's probably
but maybe that's what they need. Maybe I'm the last push, and I'm like, we've survived it. I mean, right? We have, right?
Yeah, sure.
From the time no one pays you for what you do, like you're literally on pro bono, like doing a lot of free times. We've survived it. So if you're at that stage and you can afford to resign, because maybe you're out there and you're maybe 40 and you have dependents, I wouldn't tell you like jump, I'll tell you to strategically leave. But if you're in your 20s, surely you have like your whole life ahead of you to discover, to allow yourself to be all that God has put inside of you, especially if you're religious. Some of us are really like literally our entire dependence is on God, right? Sure. So if you're young, really, what do you have to lose? But every day commit, even when you're in employment, in the evening, over lunchtime, any time that you have to grow yourself. and one day you earn your ticket to leave. But really, we've survived it. And I think personally, I can tell you, I wouldn't tell you that you must leave, but I can tell you my leaving is what has enabled me to be who I am today. And yeah, everything great takes courage. Yeah. I've ever opened a shop within a month because someone was like, "Oh, open a shop here, maybe open a shop and then sell hair and things like that." So me, I did it. Then within a month, I'm like, "What was the profit? What did I really get back?" When I saw it was a negative, I closed it. But had I stayed long enough, yes, of course it would be. Because don't women use hair all the time? Yeah.
But probably it's because it was someone's idea and you were not really in it.
If I was passionate,
passionate and in it, and probably you had gone through the self-discovery, talked about, you could realize here is my thing or it's not my thing. Amazing. So Esther, what would you tell an entrepreneur out there? What would be your message to someone who is starting, probably scaling, and they're wondering, is this thing really going to make sense?
Yeah.
Or I think I need to throw in the towel right now and go back to becoming a civil servant.
Well, I always say there's no shame in the game. If you need to pack up and go, hey, just do it. I mean, just do what is best for you at the right moment. I think I was also told by my boss when I was leaving, as he actually said, "Do you know Richard Branson was actually an employee even as he was building Virgin, right?"
Oh, really?
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah. So I feel like there's no, it's not such a problem. Like for example, to be in employment and still work on your brand until it reaches a significant level, it is good. Then you eliminate the possibilities of suffering in the initial years, right? But also sometimes that suffering is what brings innovation. Like very little few things come out from the comfort zone, right? But of course, like you do not want young people to flee off their jobs just anytime and anyhow, just to go gafla bingu into extreme suffering, right? Because some people, it also takes a certain resilience. And I guess the reason maybe some of us were able to do that is because we had the option, like you're in the safety and comfort that allows you to be able to grow without necessarily people finding you dead because you became an entrepreneur, right? The goal is to stay alive. But should you have that nudging thing, don't overthink. Even in your free time, late in the evening, late in the night, when you leave work, come start it off. In the on weekends when everyone else is doing all manner of things, come and give time to whatever it is that you need to do. Then keep saving for whatever the vision is, and one day you are able to confidently leave without necessarily having to die just because you left, right? So it's truly a mark of courage. It takes a while before you are able to recover what you are, but take that opportunity in employment to learn as much as you can, to be a better manager, to run things. So when you come out, your business is successful in a shorter time because you already have learned things, right? I always say employment is like apprenticeship. And that's why for a lot of times I still took up a job. Though I started, like I told you, I started at 26. But in and out of that period, I've been in like 10,000 employment opportunities in there just to learn and to grow. So it's okay. There's no shame in the game if you must. But if you don't have to and you have the choice, you have the resources to just go and do your best and give your best, go ahead and do it. Entrepreneurship is fulfilling, it's meaningful. I see a lot of people complain about their work and their job. I don't feel that way. Even at the lowest, when I don't have really much or income, I never feel unfulfilled. I am quite excited to wake up every day to do this and constantly rethinking of ways this can be done better. So, for all that it is worth, do it, do it, do it. Right.
Yeah, nice one. So, thank you so much, Esther. I like it when you say that it's fulfilling and it's meaningful.
Totally.
And you can tell anyone who is interested to go into entrepreneurship, go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Start. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Okay. So, what would be your final messages? Too short.
My final message: dream about money and go and make it.
Wow, dream about money, go and
go
make
and make it. Yeah, there's
So
no shame in wanting money.
there's no shame. Yeah, because some people are like, I want to go into entrepreneurship.
I know,
there's
right?
hardship.
Just to give
And when you
back.
make the money, you don't enjoy it
Exactly.
unapologetically.
I read a quote and it's like, I want to be rich and then have no one know about it. I was like, me? When I'm rich?
You will get
after what I've gone through?
Yes.
It will be communal news.
So there is
Yeah.
no harm in
There's no
enjoying
harm in that,
the money that comes with
Exactly.
entrepreneurship.
Because one thing with money actually is it expands your capacity to love. You know, you want to give gifts to people, you want to help. Do you know how heartbreaking it is when you want, like, someone asks you for help and you can't? It's so heartbreaking. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was
you.
a very good session. That was Esther of Dream Tribe. You can check her out on Facebook. Maybe you can give them the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Last time.
So the Facebook page is Dream Tribe Network Africa and the group is Dream Tribe. You are very welcome to join. Come and share. I'm not gonna give you my numbers because some people are crazy, but join the group. I'd be happy to engage. When you see the Dream Cafe, please come and be part of it. It will be amazing to learn and exchange from each other. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's it for today with our guest Esther. This is the Entrepreneur Series with Elizabeth Gitau, where you dream it, believe it, work it, and enjoy it. Thank you. Hello guys. My name is Elizabeth Gitau, an entrepreneur. I'm the director, Web Staffing Kenya Limited, and the founder, Domestic Professionals Association of Kenya. I'm inviting you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Entrepreneur Series with Elizabeth Gitau, and like our page on Facebook, Entrepreneur Series with Elizabeth Gitau. Please go ahead, subscribe. We're bringing you very, very amazing content with entrepreneurs in Kenya and if possible abroad. So guys, go ahead, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell so that you get to know when we upload the next video. Thank you guys.